Ann Ball, Telco, BC.
Morning, Ann.
Good morning.
Diana, Kelowna.
Beautiful Kelowna. Welcome.
Corey Johnson, Palm Beach, Florida.
Blooming Prairie, Minnesota.
Irene
Russell
Conlon, Arizona.
Alderson, Redding. Susan Fran, Redding, California.
Linus in Ohio.
Kennewick, Washington.
Yeah, I think we'll be starting in 2 minutes. We'll just let a few more people join in. It's Don Carson calling you from up in Canada, and I'll share with you my location shortly.
Gary.
Robert Terry, Marco Island.
Kathy from North Dakota.
Patty from Indiana.
Sean from Ohio.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Ohio.
Montana, Jill.
Grand PA.
Josh Hardy, Kentucky.
We'll be starting in exactly 1 minute. Don Carson calling you and hosting the call today. If you haven't chimed in, go ahead. Share where you're from.
Good morning, Peggy from Seattle.
Paul Moore, Memphis.
Thomas Wolves, Kelowna.
Hey, Don, Grant from Winnipeg.
CG, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Cheryl from Vegas.
Ron, Tennessee.
Okay, everyone, I think we're ready to begin.
Chicago.
Okay, everyone. Well, welcome to the Saturday conference training. It's my honor to be given this chance to share with you, what I feel is the key nuggets to success in the Valentus opportunity, and of course, generally speaking, in business today. I really, really, truly am thankful and feel that it's my responsibility to do the best I can to share with you all I can today, because I've been entrusted with sharing with many of you who I don't know, but many of you who I feel I'm part of, because we're all part of the same membership and the same dreams and goals and aspirations, and we're on a success journey here that we all can support and help each other reach. So, I want to thank the team to give me this chance to share today, and I welcome all of you to the call. As you probably saw in the text or an email, my name is Don Carson. I'm a double diamond. My wife and I, Nancy, have a home in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We have a home in Tampa, Florida, and we have a lake home here in Kenora, Ontario, where I'm sitting today. The view outside my window is an incredible view of a lake. I'm sitting next to a bristling wood fire to give you an image of doing a business from the comfort of my lake home and being able to share with so many people around the world. Then that's the nature of what we all have in our hot little hands here, is the ability to take time back and ownership of your time and be able to go forward. Now, I don't tell you the fact I have these homes to brag. That's not why I'm telling you that. I want to share with you that I'm on somebody's list, and I want you to understand what that means. And I share you that it costs an awful lot to have what I have today, but it didn't come from things that I'm doing today. It came from things that I did in yesterday. So how do we get to the point where we can understand and teach you today what you need to do? And I've heard from people during the week that have called me, and they say, they get on a call that is a sharing call during the week, and they learn little nuggets, but, give me some stuff. Give me some stuff that can get me over to the next level. Get me from platinum to gold from silver, platinum to gold to ruby to emerald to diamond to double and so on. So I think we need to start back at the mindset section of this, and I really want everybody to understand the number one word for success in my wife Nancy and I's life is attitude, because I truly believe attitude is everything. If you don't have a positive attitude, people aren't attracted to you. If you don't have poop in your popper, what I mean by that is walk in a room and have some step in your step, people are going to be attracted to you. So what is it that's going to give you that poop in your popper, so to speak? Well, we're involved in a business here that is truly, and I honestly will share with you, look, I've had two major successes in my life that have given me the lifestyle that we currently have, and it was being fortunate enough to have the Canadian exclusive rights to two of the most successful fitness products ever on television. There are still one of them in particular that is on TV in a big way. I sold that company here in Canada 10 years ago, but you know what? For 10 years I've been looking for the next big hit in our life. Obviously, the money that was made in those 10 years previous and 20 years previous left us the legacy for our children in terms of our lifestyle. But what am I looking for? I'm looking for the ability to keep paying for it. So for all of you on the call, the most important thing you have to understand is that there's two forms of income. There's active income and there's passive or residual income. And understand truly what it is that active income is in your life. I mean, do you have a job? Are you getting a paycheck, a wage, a salary of some sort or another? Obviously that means you have to show up to work. That's active income. You're not basically in charge of your own destiny in terms of your time versus money. Your time is somebody else's time, and you're doing that in terms of an active income. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that's the situation that majority of people are in. Passive income, to understand it truly and to have your head around what it is that has been handed to you here in Valentus and with the Prevail line of products, is to look back and truly thank the person that opened the door to you here, okay? Really understand that you were given a gift. And I'm going to start with the term gift, and I'm going to end today with the term gift. And I really believe all of us on this call have been given a gift, and that is the opportunity to share what is an incredible product first, and for those that want to seek and grab hold of the opportunity. So somebody opened the door to you. And you know what? They did you a massive favor. Passive residual income, what it really means truly to me is, getting paid after the work is done. I don't have the ability to write a book. I certainly don't have the ability to star and act in a movie or write a movie. I don't have the ability to sing a song and play the piano. I do play the piano. I enjoy the piano. It's one of my stress reliefs in life is the piano, but I'm not going to get paid to play the piano and write a song. I mean, yes, I have real estate, and yes, rent is paid. That's passive residual income. That square footage is getting paid even though I'm not there. Now there's maintenance and repairs, but that's passive residual income. But there's a myth here. The myth, and I really want to get it straight, because in terms of the business here, we all have the ability to work like the successful people of the past and get out of it what we want. Truly, the major billionaires in the world, like the Richard Bransons in the world and so on, I mean, they have numbers of companies, and they have people running those companies, and they are receiving passive residual income. But you know what? They still check in. And, Valentus family on the phone here, we get to check in. We have a back office. We've been given the gift of a $20 activation fee for those of us that are members on the call here. And that activation fee gives us a number of different tools. One of them in particular is the back office, which I'm going to touch on and share with you as much as I can on this call without going overboard. But truly, that's the ability for us to check in. And to truly understand the residual income and understand what it is, let me give you a couple of analogies of my life and where I came from. I was a TV infomercial personality. I would stand on the stage in a theater in Toronto, and I would demonstrate and sell to whoever was out there a product. I would, it was live TV. And as I would see a ticker go across the bottom of the screen, to me, I thought that was residual income. I really believed that when I saw 1, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, in my head I was going ka-ching, 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 because those sales were generating income off of my efforts. Okay? The question really was, did I have to be there? And the answer was yes. So it was still a job. I was still standing there. And when that went away, so did my income. I was no longer the personality selling that product. I was no longer seeing the ticker going across the screen. So in terms of that, what I thought was residual income, it truly was at that time in my life active income. Once I sold that company, I wasn't paid a thing after I left. Needless to say, I accumulated an awful lot of things over those years. And when I get to the section of my training today about, who's on your list, I want you to think about a Don Carson, and I want you to think about the fact that there are lots of Don Carsons out there that have had past successes that are looking for something to go forward to. So I share that with you because residually, I'm now in that position with this company. I have the ability to do the work and check in and help and not sit on a beach necessarily to reap the benefits. I'm never going to retire, and I don't think anybody in the world today will retire if they truly understand what this business offers them, because it's so much fun. I really, really love this statement by Jim Rohn. I'm working full-time on my job and part-time on my fortune. But it won't be long before I'm working full-time on my fortune. Can you imagine what a life what life will look like. You know, that's what all of you have on the phone. That was the gift that you were given, the chance to start part-time in what could be a full-time life experience. So, leading towards the next phase of my training, I wanted to set the groundwork of what we truly have here. The products are, first and foremost, the most successful part of what Valentus has. Be honest with yourself. You're on this call because you've had success. You're on this call because you've seen results in the mirror. And it really means more to you having results in the mirror than it means to somebody else seeing you, because you have to be a product of the product. There are such great mentors in this business that I've met and will hook my wagon to, of course, the diamonds in this company, the double diamonds in this company, the triple diamond in this company, the emeralds and the up-and-coming stars. They're all going to teach me. I look for nuggets all the time from all of them, and that's all about having attitude. If you don't have a positive attitude, trust me, you're never going to learn. Positive attitudes are what bring knowledge and other positive attitudes to you. I read this one time, and I really believe this. If you sit in a room and write down who's the 5 people that you're closest to, who your day-to-day, your evenings and so on are made up of, take their incomes, divide it by that number. That's probably what you're making. You're probably in that circle of that kind of income. What that really told me many, many years ago when I read that, and be a student, by the way, and go out and pick up some great books. I mean, there's some books that I truly believe that all of you should pick up, and I'll give you a couple of them in a little bit. But truly be a product of the product. So, 12 and 24, which is a program that Ted Wilson and the company has brought out on Facebook, get on there and start reading the testimonials. You'll understand the successes that people are having by first learning what SlimRoast really is. What is trim? What is immune? What is energy? This isn't about training you on the product today. You'll have that time to do that. But you know what? The SlimRoast coffee is the hook. So be a product of the product and share the coffee. Have it in your hot little hands. Open up those packages when you're sitting in the airport with a bottle of water. I was coming back from our training and seminars we did in Alberta, and I actually enrolled somebody in the airport because the person asked me, is that one of those energy drinks that you bought over there? I'm a little down right now. Where'd you pick that up? And I said, well, my partners and I, and I'm going to share you a couple of words in a little bit, but my partners and I, because I always use the word we in everything I do, my partners and I have, introduced an amazing product, and I travel with it everywhere I go. Next thing you know, I had his information because he saw me be a product of the product. So be out there with the trim and the immune and the energy and the SlimRoast in front of people without even trying to recruit them. They may or may not come to you. Take the before and after pictures. You know that. You've heard that. Listen, image is everything. And here's a visual image that has worked for me, and I share this over and over again. One of our key members in our team has lost 28 pounds. You know that this gentleman carried 20 pounds of potatoes and put them on a table? That image of 20 pounds of potatoes stuck in my mind, and I truly realized that I did him such a favor by getting him started on this amazing product. And as he carried those potatoes, can you imagine putting those potatoes back on your belly or on your butt or anywhere on your body? Those potatoes are what he was carrying around. The day-to-day activity of getting out of the car, getting in and out of the bathtub, getting in and off of the whatever, those potatoes were gone forever, and he's got further goals of losing another 30, 40 pounds of potatoes, if you know what I mean. So tell everybody you know how you feel. What is it about this product that is making you feel better about who you are? You need to adapt. And here's the message with the product section of my training. You need to come up with your own personal 30-second commercial. What does that mean? How do you share this quickly with somebody without telling them that you're trying to recruit them? You're not trying to sell them anything, but what is your 30-second commercial? My 30-second commercial, as simple as it is, my partners and I, we've introduced this amazing product. Do you know anybody that drinks coffee? Obviously, I'll hear yes. Well, what's crazy is, do you know anybody that loses weight? Absolutely. So, well, listen, my partners and I, we introduced this amazing product that where you drink coffee and lose weight. Do you think we have a good product? That's my 30-second commercial. You heard the word we throughout that 30-second commercial, and everybody comes back and say, wow, that's a cool product. Absolutely, that sounds like a great product. I think you got a winner. Well, listen, would you like some information? And then I start through the process of getting them into what we like to call the funnel and the bucket, which I'll explain in a little bit. because I'm going to teach you how to share as best as I can. So adopt and become a product of the product. Become somebody that can share your own personal, in your word, 30-second commercial. That's key to your success. So let's move on to how do I share? And what are the methods that we can use to share this absolutely incredible gift that we've all been given by Dave Jordan and team? Attitude. Don't forget that. Attitude is everything. You can't share anything with anybody, anywhere in the world, unless you have a positive attitude. If you have the word think in your vocabulary, that means you're not positive. You're not sure. So the second word that I'm sharing with you today is the word yes. We, in everything you share with people, share obviously is the third word, but I'm moving towards the yes, which is how do you share Valentus with a yes in everything that you say. The yes doesn't have to be the word yes. It has to be positive. I know you're going to love this. That's a positive. You will be blown away by the results. That's a positive. Those are yeses. The no's that I hear people say, and I stop them in their tracks, is I think this is for you. That's a no. I hope you'll like this. That's a no. By saying in your words, your own personal words, the term yes, I truly believe that you'll be able to express to people the positive attitude you have in this gift that you've been given. So, needless to say, we all have our own unique ways and life challenges of sharing this with people, and that's the term share. I don't sell anybody anything, even in my past fitness successes and my current traditional successes of having, retail stores that have people that walk through the door. We don't want to sell them anything. We want to share with them a lifestyle, and that's our lifestyle category of products in my traditional business. My wife, Nancy, has a wedding pavilion ballroom that is the number one wedding pavilion and sought-after wedding pavilion by brides everywhere. The dates are booked up 3 years in advance. We're blessed to have this property, and we have a restaurant. But we share great food, we share a great venue, and we share what I believe is a lifestyle. So I remember walking into a ballroom with 1,100 people for a Mother's Day, and the image I had in my mind was that picture that people were taking in front of the waterfalls were going to be on mantles 20 years from now, and I had a little piece of their image of that day. I share that with you because I believe, once again, that every person that I introduce to Valentus, I'm going to share in their health benefits. I'm going to share in their ability to earn passive income if they choose. I'm going to share in their successes, and I'm going to help them along the way. So how do I share? So if you're on an iPad and if you're in the Apple world, the first little tip I want to give you is the movies that are on the back office don't necessarily work on Apple products. Some of them have the Adobe sort of a format. So the first tip, and you've heard this before, we found this out a while ago, is to download the Puffin browser. So if you're an Apple product, the Puffin browser in the App Store, I believe it's free, is a browser that will allow you to play all of the videos in your back office, in particular the Powerline video, which is probably one of the most interesting videos you can share with somebody when you're doing some training. Facebook, conference calls, texting, emails, face-to-face. Obviously, all of these things are going to be your methods of sharing, and each of them will work differently for each of you on this call. The Facebook noise that starts to happen can cause people to get turned off. Be careful. Don't go overboard. Make sure you pick and choose when to share an absolute fact or image of Valentus, but try to do something that I learned many, many years ago that catches people's attention. It's called stop marketing. In my past success with the fitness industry, we created commercials and infomercials that would stop people in their tracks. It would cause them to pick up the phone and get them to phone. We would send out, if they said no at that time, we would send postcards and drip on them and drip on them and drip on them until they basically told us to go pound sand or they bought. And that's the facts in terms of this business. Stop marketing means don't just make it noise. Come up with something unique. I shared a picture of my dog, and my dog said, Mom, Dad, man, this coffee looks great on you. Can I share it too? And I enrolled 2 people. It was different than Valentus. You've not, in social media today, you need to understand that you have to do something slightly different than just the norm that everybody else is doing. So don't let it be noise. Let it be something that even in your images, you have poop in your popper. So you've got some excitement. The conference call is by way of picking up nuggets. The day today obviously is all about you learning a little bit, maybe not all of what I'm going to say is going to make sense to you, but I hope that I share a couple of nuggets that help you go forward in your business and give you the success that you want. I personally have shared many people by text. I don't do a long text, but I fill it with yeses, I fill it with we, and I fill it with I want to share this with you. Those 3 words in everything I do is how I share. We are so excited, my wife and I, to share what we believe is the most incredible opportunity we've ever had. Watch this, www. and our username, and of course you're going to use your username in front of valentusmovie.com. I need to understand who that person is before I either use experiencevalentus.com or valentusmovie.com. Valentusmovie.com tends to be for an entrepreneur out of the gate, somebody that I know has some interest in making money. I like to share that movie email with them because that particular one leads them right to the business, lets them understand that there's an opportunity here to make money. The Experience Valentus website /movie in it website, I believe, is a little easier to let somebody see the product. Move down the page to the actual image of the Slim Roast and pop over the ingredients to see what is it that these ingredients really do. I think that that's important for you to understand who it is you're sending it to before you pick the website or opportunity share that you're planning on doing. I text very shortly, www. I always use the www because I know now that if you just use Google, you're liable to land on somebody else's information section, and that person might get recruited. I always make sure I make them understand that, using the URL line in the top of their computer or just clicking on the URL that I sent them will lead them to where I want them to go. I heard Corey Johnson at the training in Kelowna make reference to lots of people won't watch it. They'll tell you they'll watch it, and they won't watch it. So what I tend to do is I tend to listen to the 4-minute commercial. It's important to me that I know that they're watching it, just as Corey shared. And so and it's only 4 minutes long. We all know that. It's a very, very well-done infomercial. And going back to my infomercial days, my gift that I was given by this company for $20 was a database of the world to share a 4-minute infomercial. That's the gift that you all have in your hot little hands. So by letting you understand that you can use this commercial, you need to follow up quickly and make sure they've watched it, or listen to them watch it, and then fill in the questions and answer right away, and then encourage them to pre-enroll right away. Obviously, the story of pre-enrolling leads us to the numbers of what we're really doing in our compensation plan. Face-to-face, you need to have some samples with you. You need to have one of our cards with a Slim Roast staple to it, one of some form of sheet that you can download from valentuscalls.com or from other sources. You'll want to have some samples available. Nothing worse than somebody saying, "Man, you look amazing. What are you doing?" and you have nothing to give them. And trust me, that will happen. My wife Nancy came to me last night and showed me a skirt that she hasn't worn for a while, and she said, "Oh my God, look at all this skirt's loose on me." Well, I freaked my son out when I put my hand down on her bum and just said, "Honey, you look amazing." Well, my son, 16 years old, was embarrassed by that. But the point I'm trying to make is that the results people will notice. Be prepared. Have a sample. And as Ted Wilson shares, don't give too much sample away. 1 is sometimes enough. I like to use 3. 3 days gives them, by day 2, the thermogenics effect that they're saying, I need more. How do I get this? But have some samples readily available with you. And, of course, lead them to either an event, if you have an event in your area, because we're starting to do info sessions throughout the United States and Canada, or get them on a conference call as quickly as possible. But what's really, really, to me, important is the three-way call. All of you on this phone here are on this call because somebody else told you to come on this call, and or you heard from somebody else by way of an email or a text. But three-way calling is third-party validation. So by sharing this using somebody else to share it, that person that's on the other end of the line knows they're not going to be alone. And that's the key to how we share. You need to teach people the proper way to be able to get the duplication we're looking for. By sharing with those people using somebody else to share the story first, you're going to learn what they do, number one, and you're going to be basically helping that person know that they're not going to be alone because you're going to help them when they want to start sharing. Let me give you an analogy. My ex-wife and I were golfing, and we're both not very good golfers. In fact, I find golf a long game to play, but I mean, because of my I have this, go left, go right kind of ability in my personality. But we were golfing, and I was hitting the ball a little better than her, and I'd say, hey, Kim, why don't you hold your hands like this, and your feet should go, and she'd tell me to go pound sand, basically, because she said, well, you don't know anything. You're not a good golfer. What are you talking about? Don't tell me. And exactly, 2 minutes later, at the next tee box, a gentleman walks up and says, oh, I see you're holding your hands. Why don't you try this? Oh, really? That's interesting. And how about your feet? You should try. Exactly what I said, this gentleman said, and she changed and she hit the ball straight. That's third-party validation. He was the far-off expert. The other thing to understand about sharing is that people love to hear themselves talk. You need to get them talking. You need to get them. You have to ask them open-ended questions. So what's going on in your life these days? Get them talking. Good analogy, very similar to my golf story, is an airplane. When you sit next to somebody in an airplane, that person, if they do all the talking and you say very little, thinks that you are the most interesting person in the world because they did all the talking. They love to hear themselves talk. They like you. So it's no different in our business. Share by getting them talking. Find a way to get into their space, and you will find success. So how do you share? With positive attitude and being a product of the product. Okay. The 3 words I shared with you earlier, we, share, and yes, make that part of your life. Try to find a way to get that, into your vocabulary in your own words, and you'll find that nobody will feel alone. The next thing that I just wanted to touch on is the fact that you're really teaching people when you take them into your business. So there's a membership, so to speak, on the phone here that are in the know, that are willing to help all along the way. What your job is to do something in terms of 4 words: tell, show, try, and do. If you write those down, tell, show, try, and do. Ultimately, that's what we're doing here. So Peggy said on other calls about getting in the back office, walking them through there. Well, part of that is showing them what the back office is. So let's just touch on that for a second. Some of the more important points in that back office that I think that you need to be involved looking at, and if you're on your computer right now, I take everybody that I start in the business and personally role, I take the responsibility to take them into the back office and help them understand some of the key nuggets of that back office. A lot of people don't even realize that they are in total control of changing their information at any time. That's the personal info bucket. That's an important feeling of comfort to know that you can change your address. You don't have to call anybody to do that. The genealogy, understand what that is, and the buttons on the genealogy, what do they do? The rotator, what leg did you come into? Make sure you teach. In our membership, in our team, our attitude is bring your first 2 to 3 team members into the community leg that you were brought into and teach that before you go to the opposite side. That drives depth. You need to teach them what a rotator is. Make them understand that an auto ship is key to success in consumption. The auto ship can be turned off and on at any time. So you're in total control. There's nobody else that makes you take product. You're 100% in control. Make sure they see the order history, that there's a link button that lets them track their orders. The leaderboards to say, hey, there's a competition here. Why not? Get involved. Understand what a contact manager is in the back of that office, because that lets you see who you personally sponsored and where they're at. Understanding what the payment options are and how you get paid, and get them to enroll right away for a Payoneer card or direct deposit in the United States. And truly understand the products, because full disclosure, the products are shown in your back office. Know what they are, and don't be afraid to share them. They're 100% natural, no GMOs, and we do give a money-back guarantee. So let them understand that by walking them through that back office. It's so important. I can't say enough that if you get them started in the back office knowing that they have the ability to navigate and it's not difficult, they will have success. So tell, show, try, do. You tell them what it is you're doing. Then you show them by way of a three-way call. Then you let them do it by trying it, and you come back to showing them if they didn't do it quite right till eventually they can do it. That's the method of third-party validation that you can teach and duplicate throughout your organization. Tell, show, try, do. Tell them, then show them, let them try it, and eventually they'll be able to do it. If they can do it and they can share by way of a three-way call the business opportunity or, in fact, the products, they'll eventually do the same thing through your organization and their organization. They'll tell, show, try, and do it all over again. The numbers speak widely in the business like Valentus. These numbers are numbers I've kind of kept in my head for many years, and it's 6, 4, 2, and 1. If you talk to 6 people, 4 people are liable to say, there's something here. 2 people are probably going to get started, and 1 person will probably go on to be, some form of successful. What you have to understand is that no doesn't mean never. It just means not right now. You haven't told me enough to make me have interest. So get them into the back office. Show them a Powerline video if you can, using the Puffer browser in an iPad world. That Powerline video will teach them the funnel and the bucket. Because as they come in as a pre-enroller, obviously the system duplicates itself and starts dripping on them over and over and over again. Hey, you have another member underneath you. Hey, you have another person underneath you. By Thursday at midnight, the cutoff, we all know that particular call. That's the funnel and the bucket. Get them in the funnel by sharing with them as much as possible the concept of, listen, no means not right now. Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll follow up later. Okay? But remember, the no and the next no and the next no might lead to a yes. For me, I thank them for the no. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know there's a yes coming. You need to get through the numbers. The numbers they speak widely in this type of industry. So tell, show, try, do is very important for you to get duplicated throughout your organization. So as we come closer to the end of this call and conclusion, in the last 5 or 6 minutes, I'm honored that I was given the opportunity to share some of these little nuggets with you. To me, in conclusion, and really the most important thing is follow up, follow up, follow up. Remember, timing is everything, and when you look at somebody, don't look at them and think that they're the most successful person and would never be interested. There's something going on in their life that you don't know. And remember, you don't know who they know. I've had, members join this business that had past massive success in other companies and that are now on our team, not because I enrolled them, because a friend of mine said, you need to talk to Don. We don't know who they know. And, business today is tough. So look up. Don't make your list. And, of course, the starting points of getting started right are making a list and setting some goals. Those are important nuggets. Setting that goal with your sponsor and teaching them in your back office who is in your upline. Who are the 3 people that I can reach out to for support? And understand that the good news that you get, you want to share that with your personal members and the organization. If you have something negative that's not quite right, don't share that to your organization of members that you've brought on. Go up to your support team and let them help you. That's the most important thing. Hey, negative goes up, positive goes down. Watch what that does in your business. Don't be somebody who has a negative attitude, have somebody who has a positive attitude, and watch what happens. I believe the gift that you have in this business personally is like having, as Ted Wilson said, a Walmart share in the 70s. This is an explosive opportunity. Listen, Don Carson's made millions of dollars. I sit in a multi-million-dollar home here that I'm still trying to pay for after the fact because I got to keep up with this lifestyle. So what am I doing? I joined an incredible business that was a gift that was shared with me. And I truly believe all of you on the call here have been given something that you maybe don't quite understand yet. But trust me, with the people that are on this call, they have your best interest in mind. I believe the first people you should share this with are the people that you look at them and you say, I owe you this. You need to understand, if I don't talk to you now, 6 months from now, you'll be mad at me. This is incredible. That's a yes. You need to go to the people, and you need to understand that your warm market, those people in your cell phone list, call them. Don't be afraid to. I'm dealing now with a gentleman that owns 5 and 6 auto dealerships. They're interested. Because you know what? Day-to-day business is tough, and there's a lot of pressure to do with, employees. So follow up. Location. Well, you know what the location in our business is? The people you know. If you don't go and chat with those people that you know, somebody else will. It's early in the game. We are in the foundation, pre-foundation sort of stage, but trust me, if you don't talk to them, I'm going to talk to them because I'm not going to stop until I have a business that is international in nature that truly can give my wife and I passive income and our children for many years to come. I won't unclick, I won't retire, but I'll have the ability to check in with a back office. So all of these little things are important for you to truly understand. The compensation plan, as simple as it is, has 7 ways to make money. We all know that the first couple of them don't necessarily require an auto ship. Retailing products off your website, you get paid. When somebody joins your business and you get a fast start business bonus, you get paid. But when you get to the builder pack sort of section and above of our comp plan, number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, auto ships are required. Auto ships are about consumption and duplication. This business does nothing for any of us if we cannot duplicate how simple it truly is. If you complicate it and become too technical, you're going to scare your, call it, prospect. They need to see it simple. They need to see they have support and help and that there's information out there that they can get. So with that said, I thank you for joining me here in a beautiful Saturday up in Kenora, Ontario. I've enjoyed sharing some of my little nuggets with you as I look out into this lake. I believe the books that you should read are things like Who Moved My Cheese? Awesome little book that's a quick read. When you read it, you can see that there are so many people that are stuck in a maze and they can't get out of it. They don't even know what to do. They have no idea how to go around the corner. And wow, there's a path to freedom. That book, Who Moved My Cheese, is a simple life story that we are all on right now. We were given a gift of go around the corner, and there's where the cheese is. That's Valentus. That's our Prevail line of products. So, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read those books. It gave me the ability to negotiate and speak to New York Stock Exchange companies to sell my company to. I don't believe I would be as successful traditionally today if I wouldn't have found network marketing 25 years ago. That's what taught me to read books. So the last thing I want to leave you is that you need to take matters into your own hands. This is your business. Share upline. Talk to them. Get them to help you. We have Roadmap to Diamond packages that we can send out to you that Ted Wilson has created and some of the other leadership on the company. Get those roadmaps. Don't be somebody that sits back and thinks that it's going to happen because it won't happen. In order for this to work and for you to make money and for you to share, you need to take action. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the time today. I appreciate all of you on the call, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. God bless.